In order to prevent those of lesser intelligence from constantly annoying me with questions about how to achieve the same heights of software development prowess as myself, I've prepared the following guide to how to become the ultimate software developer. The first thing you must understand is that Uber geeks are born, not made. Yes, I'm afraid that you might not have the right stuff. Some might say that not having the right stuff to be a software developer is nothing to feel shame about. Those people, of course, would have the wrong stuff. Let's be clear, there are only 10 types of people in this world, those that understand binary and those that don't. To become part of geek culture, you must first understand how it works. It is based almost entirely on status. However, unlike other mere mortals who might judge status by how much they earn, a geek status is determined by the estimate of their intelligence by their peers. This elegant theory explains why geeks are constantly trying to make others feel stupid. You see, the more stupid you make others feel, the more intelligent you appear by comparison. Some prospective software developers naively believe that becoming a software developer is about learning to become proficient with technology, developing their professional communication skills, and understanding the need of businesses they work for in order to provide value. Although developing your technical skills will be necessary to initially establish status among your peers, communication with users and understanding the business needs will in no way raise your status within geek culture. In fact, those software developers who do learn to communicate effectively with users and management will run the serious risk of being promoted into positions like team leader or even, God forbid, project manager. Such promotions are of course the kiss of death to an Uber geek. You only need to read a single issue of Dilbert to understand the high regard management is held in. Even the most skilled developer will instantly be demoted to dullard by their peers should they be promoted to a management position. My advice to prospective geeks is that you should seek out a development company that has recently let go of a useless developer. The old developer is always an easy target, as they are no longer there to protect themselves. Finding a position such as this is easier than you might think, as successful developers are generally retained because they have made themselves irreplaceable. When you join a new company, you can examine the source code written by the old developer and act shocked at the poor quality. To reinforce the idiocy of the previous developer and promote your professionalism, ask for the requirements documentation and design specifications. Chances are that if these documents ever existed, they are long forgotten. When these documents fail to be produced, you can shake the head in disbelief, reinforcing your superiority over the dullard you are replacing. Your new employer will, however, plot to control you in order to deliver value, and therefore you should be prepared. The project manager will no doubt start making unreasonable demands about delivering functionality to the schedule. The first thing you should do is critique the requirements in the guise of being professional and helpful. Carefully examine the requirements for holes and ask clarifications on every small point. Now, a real geek don't need no stinking design to write software, but it seems that managers require them. No amount of bleating will change their mind. Luckily, technology has come to the rescue in the form of UML and associated design tools. It is now possible to write a design that is just as impenetrable to the average manager as the deepest, darkest Amazon jungle. When management complain about not understanding the design, you can offer to send them on a course to understand the design tools. Once again, you have succeeded in communicating how vastly superior your intellect is. Once the project is underway, the project manager will want to break the project into tasks so that they can track progress. Real geeks understand that software is done when it's done. Putting arbitrary schedules onto us is limiting our artistic expression. However, we cannot simply refuse to cooperate. Therefore, you should prepare hundreds of tasks that are both ill-defined and full of technical acronyms. Once again, your design will protect you by ensuring that nobody except you is able to determine how complete a task is. By marking all of your tasks as being in progress, you will look totally overcommitted. In reality, you will be able to enjoy peace and quiet while you surf the web and play World of Warcraft on company time. The committed geek should avoid communicating. If forced to do so, you should insist on using email. Anyone trying to communicate can then be safely ignored for some time. Inevitably, however, people will demand a response to their emails. At this point, it is possible for you to send a long message in reply complaining about how much money it is costing the company to write the email rather than coding. After 2 or 3 of these kinds of emails, people will become conditioned not to attempt communication while you will be establishing a reputation as a hard-working, prima donna developer. You may not be the only software developer in your company. Young developers are especially dangerous as they are looking to establish their own intellectual reputation and will enjoy outing you as the lazy, do-nothing slob you are. Of course, your failure to communicate will insulate you somewhat. However, you will need to also implement some additional protective measures. One strategy is not to check in code for weeks or even months into source code control. Keep a watch on commits by other young upstart teammates, and then the instant they commit some work, commit your own changes. There will no doubt be hundreds of merge conflicts which you can promptly blame on your victim. This will discourage your competitors from going near your work and also decrease their productivity. Once again, it is also communicating to them that they are inferior. To further maintain your godlike geek reputation, you should conduct code reviews. Code reviews are an opportunity to pull apart whatever remains of the self-esteem of your unfortunate colleagues. You can pick apart every aspect of their code, bringing to their attention every instance of a coding standard violation. Even better, you could perform a massive refactoring while admonishing the responsible developer as a raving idiot. Successful software developers are irreplaceable. That is no accident. Source code is the creative expression of developers. An Uber geek establishes his genius by writing software that cannot be understood by lesser developers. First of all, you should ensure that all of your variable names are vague and cryptic. Ideally, you should use something like Polish notation, which will mean that anyone reading it will have an aneurysm before they understand it. Never add comments to the code. If possible, make sure that all variables are global, or at least shared promiscuously among the entire codebase. Also, when similar logic is required, you should cut and paste methods in order to increase duplication. These and other programming techniques will ensure that nobody else on the planet will be able to modify your application, and you'll be irreplaceable. Welcome to the tar pit. You are now an Uber geek.